Hello, my name is Victoria Savino, and I'm going to be doing a presentation today about the New York Mets and their upcoming baseball season. So some of the things I wanted to discuss were the Mets' new coaching staff, the current health situation of the Mets, and the Mets' chances of going to the playoffs. So the New York Mets struggled last season with a lot of their players becoming injured and therefore hurting their chances to make it to the playoffs. So a lot of the key players, such as Michael Conforto, Noah Syndergaard, Jacob deGrom, Matt Harvey, Steven Matz, and the list just continues to go on of the players who were hurt and unable to play in the season, which really hurt the Mets' chances of making it to the playoffs. So the team really has a lot of talent, and they could really do well and make it to the playoffs, except for their health of their players really affected them last season. So this season, a lot of the players who were hurt are currently back and doing really well. Although it's early in the season, the Mets are currently in first place. So their two best pitchers, Jacob deGrom and Noah Syndergaard, are currently doing really well, and Matt Harvey is also doing really well, and all three of those players were injured last season at some point, and therefore the Mets really suffered from the loss of those players. So the Mets also are currently under new management. They have a new manager. His name is Mickey Callaway, and he took the place of Terry Collins, who is now working as a secretary in the office. And they also have a number of new coaches on the team, new hitting coaches, new base coaches, new pitching coaches. And so a lot of the season's success is supposed to be because of this new coaching staff, who's supposed to be really, really good for the Mets, and so far it seems like that's the case. So hopefully the Mets can continue to use all of the talent that they have to make it to the playoffs. And with the players staying healthy, there is a really good chance, and they are expected to do really well and make it to the playoffs. So a lot of the new talent that they have are young guys, and a lot of the young guys are really doing well, and they are expected to continue to do well. And a lot of the veterans on the team, such as Yoenis Cespedes, they're really helping the younger players on the team to kind of all work together to succeed as a team. They are expected to continue to do really well as long as the players stay healthy. So the team, with all the injuries last year, it really affected them, and a lot of people thought that it could have to do with the trainers and when they were allowing them to come back, because a lot of the players would come back and then end up getting hurt again. So a lot of people were concerned that maybe they weren't getting enough rest or they weren't getting the right treatment. So a lot of the fans are hoping that this year the new staff will really help to control the players' injuries and be able to make sure that when they do come back, they're completely ready to play. So if Jacob deGrom and Noah Syndergaard and Matt Harvey continue to pitch as they are, then that is something that's really going to help with the success of the team. So another great aspect is that last year the Mets had a little bit of trouble with their hitting. That was something that they kind of had a weak area in, and it really hurt their final results in the games. So this season they are hitting much better. A lot of the big hitters, Michael Conforto and Brandon Nimmo, have been doing really, really well, and that's something that the team needed because their hitting last season was a little bit lower than they needed it to be. So hopefully with the success of these different skills, pitching and hitting, the team can really work their way to the playoffs. Another really interesting aspect is that the bullpen this year is actually really good, which a lot of teams don't always see having a great bullpen, so that's really great. The team also has an excellent relief hitter, which is the pitcher that comes in at the end, and that is Familia. He's a very good pitcher. He comes in at the end and he finishes the games really well, and that's something that the team really counts on. So if he can continue to pitch like he's pitching, then I think the team will be able to kind of hold off the team that they're playing to win it in the end of the game. So, in conclusion, the Mets are really looking good so far, and as long as the new management can continue to direct the team in the direction that it's going, Mickey Callaway seems to have a really good plan for the team, and he seems to be working really well with the players as well as the new coaching staff and some of the remaining coaching staff that stayed. So I think that if the team can continue to work together and use their new strategies and their new benefits to their advantage, I think they could really do well and make it as far as people are hoping. So if all goes well and the Mets continue to win their games, they are really expected to go to the playoffs, and that's something that the team has always had very close, and they've been grasping, doing well, and then something happens where a player gets hurt or something, and it really throws them off. So I think with Mickey Callaway's direction, the team can do really, really well, and I think that their season is looking brighter than ever. So as a Mets fan myself, I grew up loving the Mets, and I am part of a huge family of Mets fans. We're really hoping that with this new direction and the team's positivity by doing so well and not having so many injuries, that can kind of be something that carries them. I think that a lot of times for a team, when they are able to use the positivity that they're having by winning, that they can use that in the long run to continue to do well. So a lot of the articles that I read about the team when I keep up with the news and everything, different sports news, SNY and ESPN and other types of sports outlets, I think that a lot of them are saying that the team is showing a little bit of a different vibe this year, and I think that that's something that's going to be really helpful for the team, because I think when a team has more of a positive outlook on everything, they can really use that to succeed. So I think it's also great that they have some great players who are healthy, and they also have one of the number one MLB picks in their minor league team right now, the Las Vegas 52s. So he is supposed to move up to the MLB sometime this season, and with that success, he's a huge home run hitter. I think that they could bring up their hitting even more, which is already doing really well with the hits of Michael Conforto, Brandon Nimmo. I think they can continue with him to really do well, and their hitting would just increase, and I think that would be something that would really help the team. So hopefully they can keep it up and bring the team to the playoffs. So I think that sports news and everything is very interesting, and I think with teams that have a new staff and everything, it's something really interesting to kind of follow to see how that really affects the team so much. So I thought it would be very interesting to kind of share the status of the Mets baseball currently, now that this season's begun.